Hello, welcome to the top stories today. The National Agency for the Prohibition of Trafficking in Persons yesterday, Sunday, warned the public against accepting job offers from entities masquerading as oil and gas companies. Russia has charged 4 men it says attacked a Moscow concert hall and killed at least 137 people. Minister of Sports Development Senator John Eno has declared that the preparations for the 2027 African Games, which will be held in Egypt, will begin immediately as the contingent to the just concluded 13th edition of the Games in Ghana arrived yesterday, Sunday. Welcome to News Hour, this hour with me, Chioma Vic-Chwemeka. Now the news in full. The National Agency for the Prohibition of Trafficking in Persons yesterday, Sunday, warned the public against accepting job offers from entities masquerading as oil and gas companies. It identified these as a new ploy by suspected human traffickers who are exploiting coordinated global brand trademarks and offering unrealistic oil and gas job offers to traffic unsuspecting persons between 15 and 35 years to neighboring West African countries for various forms of exploitation. NAPTIP's Chief Communications Officer Adekoye Vincent revealed this in a statement yesterday Sunday titled "Beware of Fake Oil and Gas Jobs in West African Countries." While discussing emerging trends in human trafficking for 2024, Waziri Aziz said that victims are often instructed to bring up to 850,000 naira for documentation and other logistical expenses. She explained that the agency has doubled efforts through enhancement that enhance partnership, collaboration, diligence, prosecution and extensive awareness campaigns to bolster its operations, resulting in a significant increase in convictions of human traffickers. We're following up on this story and we'll keep updating you. Away from that, Governor Ubasani of Kaduna State has clarified that 137 school children were abducted on March 7, 2024 from Kuriga in Chikun local government area of the state. The governor said it was not 287 school children as was previously reported. During an appearance on a program on TV, the governor provided the update revealing that the military, in cooperation with local authorities from Zamfara State, successfully rescued all the kidnapped children from the clutches of the bandits. The school children were abducted from Leah Primary School and Government Secondary School, Kuriga, on March 7, 2024. Contrary to earlier reports, the Defense Headquarters announced on Saturday that a total of 137 students have been successfully rescued. The National Hajj Commission of Nigeria has said that pilgrims who registered for the 2024 Hajj before the previous deadline of February 12 will now have to pay a balance of 1.9 million naira in accordance with the current exchange rate. NACON enjoined pilgrims to pay up the balance before March 29, 2024, when the Commission will shut down its systems and cease to accommodate payments. This was contained in a statement titled "NACON Releases New Development on 2024 Hajj." Signed by NACON's Assistant Director of Public Affairs, Fatima Osara, on Sunday yesterday. In her statement, Osara explained that late and non-remittances of fares pushed the Commission beyond the deadline given by the Saudi Ministry of Hajj and Umrah, noting, however, that the government had intervened by appealing for cost reductions. The intervention could, however, not cover pilgrims who had paid the initial fare, leading to calls for state government and individual support for the pilgrims, which reduced the balance to 1.9 million naira. The chairman of the Police Service Commission, Solomon Arase, has questioned the competence of the commissioners of police in Delta and Imo following a wave of assaults against police officers in the country. Arase, while condemning the attacks, stressed that the slain officers were also Nigerians who deserve the support, encouragement and protection of the citizens. This is revealed on Sunday in a statement signed by the spokesman for the commission, Ikechukwu Ani. The Nigeria Police Force on Saturday said 6 officers were killed in an ambush in Delta State by armed assailants. The policemen were said to be in Delta over the disappearance of their colleagues in the Ohoro forest. This was followed by another attack on police operatives attached to Mopo 18, Owerri, Imo State, where 2 operatives were killed on Saturday by gunmen in the Okigwe area of the state. It is learned that the gunmen threw dynamite at the police patrol vehicle and engaged the policemen in a gunfight along Old Gariki Road. The president of the Christian Association of Nigeria, Archbishop Daniel Ko, has urged Christians to be beacons of hope and agents of change, despite the situation in the country, in the spirit of the Palm Sunday celebrations. The CAN president made the appeal in a message to Christians yesterday, Sunday, urging them to emulate the virtue of unity as exemplified by Christ. Palm Sunday is a Christian feast celebrated on the last Sunday before Easter to commemorate the triumphant entry of Jesus into Jerusalem as contained in the biblical account of the four Gospels. Oko also called on Nigerians to set aside their differences, prejudices, and grievances like the people of Jerusalem in the biblical accounts to foster harmony, reconciliation, and understanding, adding that in times of adversity, love can conquer all. The presidency yesterday, Sunday, said that the 72nd birthday of President Bola Tinubu on March 29 will be low-key. The presidency revealed this in a statement signed Sunday by Tinubu's Special Advisor on Information and Strategy, Mr. Bayo Onanuga. The statement was titled President Tinubu's 72nd birthday on March 29, 2024. Onanuga premised the low-key celebration on the recent killing of army officers and policemen in Delta State and the current spate of insecurity nationwide. Although the president appreciates the gallantry of the armed forces in freeing the children kidnapped in Kuriga, Kaduna State and in Sokoto State, the presidency said he would use the opportunity of his birthday to reflect and rededicate himself to the task of building a more stable, more secure, virile, prosperous and united Nigeria. This comes months after the Secretary to the Government of the Federation, George Akume, issued a similar announcement about the 63rd Independence Anniversary ceremony last October. The Senior Staff Association of Nigerian Universities and Non-Academic Staff Union of Educational Associated Institutions will resume today, Monday, after the 7-day warning strike they embarked upon last week. Their sister union, the National Association of Academic Technologists of the university, also embarked on a 3-day strike last week. The three unions are protesting with the withheld salaries following a prolonged strike they embarked upon in 2022. The administration of former President Muhammadu Buhari invoked the salaries by invoking withheld their salaries by invoking the policy of no work, no pay. However, President Bola Tinubu recently ordered the payment of the withheld salaries of members of the Academic Staff Union of Universities who had also embarked on the same strike in 2022. Now, as a result, NASU, SANU and NAT called on the government to pay them too, threatening to embark on a strike. Amid the strike last week, the striking unions met with the federal government, but the meeting ended in a deadlock. We're following up on this story and we'll keep updating you. Away from that, a bill for an act to place a restriction on government officials from sending their children to private schools and also using private hospitals both within and outside Nigeria is set for transmission to the National Assembly for legislative action. The private bill, sponsored by the presidential candidate of the African Democratic Congress in the 2023 election, Dumebi Kachuku, proposes that public officials shall patronize public education system for the education of his or her child or ward at nursery, primary, secondary, and the first-degree university levels. The bill also proposes that no public officer shall patronize any private hospital within or outside the country for the treatment of any sickness or disease for himself, spouse, child, or ward, no matter how grievous or life-threatening or debilitating the disease or sickness confronting the public officer, spouse, child, or ward may be or appears to be, provided that where it is established that the public health institution in Nigeria may not be able to treat such sickness or disease owing to lack of necessary materials or personnel. It further proposed that no public officer shall enroll or register his child or ward in any private school within or outside the country for the purpose of acquiring education at nursery, primary, secondary, and first-degree university level. A copy of the bill, titled A Bill for an Act to place restriction on certain activities of public officers and directors of specialized businesses and 4 other matters connected therewith, was actually obtained by newsmen. We are following up on this story and we'll keep updating you. The Minister of State for Health and Social Welfare, Dr. Tunji Alausa, has called for a total ban on the importation of needles and syringes to encourage local production and help to grow the nation's economy. Alausa stated this during his visit to a manufacturing and supplies limited syringe factory in Ogun State, according to a statement yesterday Sunday signed by the resident media consultant of the National Agency for Food and Drug Administration and Control, Shayo Akintola. Alausa, according to the statement, visited the factory with the Minister of Industry, Trade and Investment, Mrs. Doris Uzo Anite, the Director General of NAPTIP, Professor Mojishola Adeyeye, the United Nations Deputy Secretary General, among others. The minister reaffirmed the determination of the federal government to provide the necessary support to the local manufacturing sector to enhance its contribution to the gross domestic product. He affirmed that the restructuring of syringe and needle production in Nigeria aimed to guarantee the availability of high-quality products manufactured by Nigerians to generate lucrative employment opportunities for Nigerians. The minister implored NAFDAC to ensure that unbridled importation of syringes did not hamper the development of the local industry through unhealthy competition. Traders at the ATD Line Building Materials Bridgehead Market Onitsha seem to be counting their losses after a midnight fire destroyed their goods. The fire, which according to eyewitnesses razed 4 shops completely and affected about 8 other shops, with goods running in millions lost to the inferno. Speaking to newsmen, the Secretary Amalgamated Timber Dealers Association, Mr. Augustine Ezekwugo, described the incident as unfortunate and unexpected, as they have never experienced such incident in the market, and regretted the great loss, adding that proper investigation is ongoing to find out the cause of the incident, while calling on traders to ensure that they switch off all electrical appliances before leaving the market to avoid reoccurrence. Also speaking, some of the witnesses who assisted in putting out the fire, including Mr. Francis Uchechukwu and Mr. Valentin Chimobi, disclosed that Fega youth and neighbors helped control the fire with water and detergent. Away from that, we move to India, where millions of Indians are celebrating Holi, known as the Festival of Colors, at home and abroad. The festival celebrates the beginning of spring and the victory of good over evil. Held on the last full moon day of the lunar month, the festival sees people smearing bright colors on friends and family and offering prayers. As part of the festivities, bonfires are lit the evening before Holi in the belief that they will destroy the bad so that good can triumph. In Russia, has charged 4 men, it says, attacked a Moscow concert hall and killed at least 137 people. 3 were marched a bent double into a Moscow court, while the 4th was in a wheelchair. All were charged with committing an act of terrorism. The Islamic State group, or ISIS, said it carried out Friday's outreach at Kirkuk City Hall and posted video evidence. Russian officials have claimed, without evidence, Ukrainian involvement. Kyiv says the claim is absurd. Video showed 3 of them being marched by masked police into Basmani District Court in the Russian capital. In sports right now, Gio Reyna and Tyler Adams scored as the United States beat Mexico 2-0 in Sunday's CONCACAF Nations League final, giving the Americans all 3 titles in the event history. Adams scored a long-distance screamer in the 45th minute, and Reyna fired home a loose ball from the edge of the box in the 63rd for the USA, who also won Nations League crowns in 2021 and 2023. The Mexicans appear to have a lifeline into the match in the 73rd minute, when a penalty was awarded after U.S. defender Anthony Robinson was ruled to have fouled Santiago Jimenez in the penalty area. But a video review overturned the decision, and instead, Jimenez was issued a yellow card for simulation, blunting the emotions for a Mexican fight back. Away from that, according to Rudy Galetti via ESPN, Chelsea have identified Napoli forward Victor Osimhen as a priority target to boost the club's attack this summer. The interest appears to be mutual, with Osimhen reportedly open to the idea of joining the Blues. Although Napoli have been struggling in the 2023-24 season, Osimhen, 25, has once again showcased his remarkable talent in the Italian league, scoring 11 times in 17 Serie A matches, building on a fantastic 2022/23 season, during which he scored 31 goals in various competitions to help them win their first Serie A title in 33 years. The Nigerian striker, who is tied with tied to Napoli until December 2026, is reportedly looking to make a switch this summer amid interest for Chelsea. Finally, in sports, Minister of Sports Development, Senator John Eno, has declared that the preparations for the 2027 African Games, which will be held in Egypt, will begin immediately as the contingent to the just concluded 13th edition of the Games in Ghana arrived yesterday, Sunday. Team Nigeria arrived in the country's capital, Abuja, and Lagos in batches yesterday, Sunday, via chartered flight provided by the Ministry of Sports Development. In Ghana, Team Nigeria had an impressive outing and finished second in the overall medals table with a total number of 121 medals, comprising 47 gold, 34 silver, and 40 bronze medals. Although the foreign-based athletes who were part of Nigeria's success at the Games have also returned directly to their bases, Eno believes a head start ahead of 2027 Games will give the country an edge in their quest to claim top sport for the first time since hosting the Games in 2003. With our story, we'll wrap it up on today's, this hour's news hour. Let's take a quick reminder at the top stories. The National Agency for the Prohibition of Trafficking in Persons yesterday, Sunday, warned the public against accepting job offers from entities masquerading as oil and gas companies. Russia has charged 4 men it says attacked a Moscow concert hall and killed at least 137 people. Minister of Sports Development, Senator John Eno, has declared that the preparations for the 2027 African Games, which will be held in Egypt, will begin immediately as a contingent to the just concluded 13th edition of the Games in Ghana arrived yesterday, Sunday. That's it. A news time this hour. On behalf of the editorial and production crew, my name is Choma Victor. Stay with us here on TV Sapiencia as we have more news times by 4 p.m. Stay with us. Kindly be security conscious, be on the alert, whatever it is you do. Ensure you have a smashing and productive day and be on the right path of the law. Stay with us.